Buttercream's all nice and firm. It's been in the fridge for about 20 minutes to a half hour. So before we cover the cake with fondant, we want to create a rim or a lip to our bowl. I'm sure you could have carved that in, but I'm not super comfortable with that, so I'm going to create it out of a rope of fondant. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay. So I'm just warming up my fondant. You could even use like a leftover color if you wish. Say you got a nasty green that you don't need anymore and you just want to get rid of it. Then this is definitely the cake that you would use that on. But I don't have any unwanted colors, so I'm just going to use white. So we're going to roll out a very long sausage or rope. I don't know if they make sausages this long. We don't want it too thick because we're also going to be covering it in a layer of fondant, which will also add a layer of bulk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down because I could tell already I have too much. So I'm just roughly rolling it out with my hands, and then I'm going to use my fondant smoother to fine tune it, make it more smooth. I actually learned that from Susan Carberry when I was a rookie and I used to watch the Yummy Art videos myself. So this is definitely a great technique to buff out any fingerprints, little divots that you make. So I'm definitely rolling out a rope too long. I'd rather have it too long than too short. Again, removing the bulk. I think it's still too thick. I just want to look and see what side I want facing forward. I guess this pretty much doesn't really matter since it's both the same. So let's pick up our rope. And then we're going to lay it right up against the edge. Just rough for now. And if you don't have a crusting buttercream, then the fondant should just stick right to it. Make sure it's not hanging over the edge, but just right to the edge. If your buttercream is crusting, then maybe a little bit of piping gel or some water will help hold it in place. So the 2 points that they overlap, I'm just going to cut on an angle. I find cutting on an angle makes the two sides, and cut all the way. It makes for a smoother join, just like that. So I'm just going to fine tune, make sure that it's nice and close to the edge, but not hanging over. Okay, I hate to say it, guys, but this cake is going to have to go back in the fridge. I prefer to allow the fondant to set up and get nice and cold and firm so it's not shifting around on us as we cover the cake. So back in the fridge. While our cake is in the fridge setting up, let's take this opportunity to make our ice cream scoops. So I've already made 2 in advance. I've got chocolate and vanilla. We require our vanilla scoop still. So the base of the scoop, I use Rice Krispie treats. Okay, let's perform some magic. So take 2 of your bars, place them side by side, not lengthwise, but widthwise, I think. And then take your 3rd bar and lay that over top in the middle. This way, lay this one lengthwise. So begin to curl the bottom Rice Krispie treats over the top one. And we're just going to make a very rough ball. And it's okay if there's flaws in it. The ice cream scoops aren't perfectly round. But you do want to round off those hard corners. We're just looking for a rough shape. Something like that, to that effect. Bickety bam. Now we're going to cover it in some fondant. I have white fondant here. I put actually a little bit of ivory in it just to kind of, I don't know, make it not so stark white. Just gonna need my fondant. You want your fondant nice and sticky so it bonds to the Rice Krispie treat.